Network. Ought to be a good one here between the Texas Rangers and the Oakland A's. Live baseball here on MLB Network, and it comes your way next. Sean Manaea, a lefty from Indiana, is on the mound here. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
One of the things you'll notice right away, a unique arm delivery. He throws from that low three-quarter arm slot. Changeup is his best secondary pitch. He's a guy that needs to throw strikes early. When he's throwing strikes, he'll get swings and misses. And with that unique arm angle that he throws from, it's really hard for hitters to lay off that letter-high fastball.
Into the box, Eli White. And we are ready for some daytime baseball. And afternoon baseball on MLB Network is underway.
First pitch, 4 o'clock.
0-1, here it comes. Looped over toward first. And he'll step on first himself for the out. A chance now to look at the batting order for the visiting Rangers. Anybody catch your eye, Dan?
Well, you have to love the thump that Joey Gallo's providing at the plate right now. He's truly one of the great power hitters in the game. I love watching him, and he's got elite power. That's the kind of power that he can hit it over the light towers, and he can hit home runs that will show up on show track and everything else. So anytime he steps into the box, he's exciting to watch.
Nate Lowe stands in as he looks at ball one here. All in all, a great afternoon for baseball. 73 degrees here at first pitch. The 1-0. One out, nobody on. Good pitch there down below the zone. Got him to go after it.
Put that in a memory bank. First time he breaks out a curveball right there, and it's a pretty good one.
Here comes the 1-2. And he goes against the shift there as this is on the ground to the left side.
That's the game plan right there. Elevate the sinker from the offensive standpoint. That's what they talked about in the hitters meeting. And on the flip side, if the pitcher doesn't get that pitch down, there's going to be a call to the pen shortly.
Into the box, Adolis Garcia ripped down the first base line. The 0-1 delivery. Swing and a line drive. Leaps high as he makes the catch. Well done.
Off the bat, that had soft base hit written all over it, but a nice snag there by the infielder on that soft liner that could have been a potential base hit.
Here's Joey Gallo now. And this one's in the dirt. And it's not in time as he's in well ahead of the throw. And he'll make it into scoring position here with 2 away as that'll be scored a wild pitch.
Well, the graphic here isn't going to properly show just how far that pitch was from the strike zone. That thing wasn't even close, and I think it made the decision to move up a base pretty easy to make.
Lowe at second with 2 down. A swing and a high drive to right center field. A ball that's carrying. And he's able to get there on the long run, and he covered a lot of ground there as the side is retired. Rangers leave 1-0 for the Rangers to start. A's coming up on MLB Network. Colby Allard gets the starting assignment for the Rangers in this one. What's your take on him, Dan?
Hey, Matty V, this ought to be exciting. This is one of the top young pitchers in the game right now. He keeps getting better. He keeps learning. And if he continues at this pace, this guy has a chance to be one of the more reliable pitchers in the game.
So now it's Mark Canha. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first. And that's down into left center for a base hit. Legs churning. He's headed for second. Around second now and headed for third. The relay throw, and it's in time as he's out at third as the good relay gets him.
Batting second.
With that, let's look at the starting lineup for the hometown A's. Danny, who stands out to you?
Well, I think the focus has to be on the man hitting third. He's such a great talent, the kind of talent that can dominate a game, a perennial all-star, and win some awards. He's one of the best in the game today, and he's always fun to watch.
Here's Elvis Andrus now. And he'll just fight this one off as it's chopped foul. Bases are empty, one man out. Another one fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. Ready with another 0-2. Now a pitch swung on and foul tipped right off the mask. It sounded like of the home plate umpire, and that cannot feel too good, I wouldn't imagine. Popped up. Solak will wait on it. And there's the second out of the inning.
Batting third. The first baseman, Matt Olson.
Now to the plate, here is Matt Olson. No one aboard for him, and two gone here in the first. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. Now a swing and a ground ball, and that's through for a hit.
Batting fourth. The second baseman, Lowry.
Here's Jed Lowry now. Hard liner, but picked up on a hop. Over to first, and that retires the side. The A's strand one. Still no score. Digging in, the switch hitter, Jonah Heim.
Leading off for Texas, the catcher, number 28, Jonah Heim.
First pitch of the AB now. As the sinker to him finds the zone for strike one. And he fouls this one off. The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Andrus will play this one at short, right to him. Throw is in time for the first out of the second.
Batting sixth.
All right, guys, here's how the Oakland A's are lining up defensively. And I'm locking in on Matt Chapman. Without a doubt, one of the premier defenders in our sport. You know what? He's often compared to his former high school teammate. Bet people didn't know Nolan Arenado and him shared dugouts in high school. He's going to be at the top of the leaderboard this year. Defensive run saved. Lock in on him. He's going to make a backhand gem.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa comes on with one away as he looks at a ball. It's 1-0. Here's the pitch.
Yeah, I get it. They want to run this guy's pitch count up, but that was a pretty good pitch to hit. He might be kicking himself that he didn't swing at that one.
The 1-1.
That's ball for.
Sent on the ground out to second. Lowry's got it on to first, and there were 2 down.
Batting 7, the designated hitter, David Dahl.
David Dahl to the plate now. He'll work on keeping this top of the second alive. First pitch on the way. Good bite to the slider, and he takes strike 1. No score here as we play inning number 2. Grounded back up the middle. Andrus fields it cleanly. Go on to Olson, will take care of him at first, and that ends the inning. Rangers set down in order. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. And striding forward, the designated hitter, Stephen Piscotty. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. High in the air out to center field. Garcia is right there, and it's a very quick out number 1.
Batting 6.
Time for a look at the Rangers on D. And we get to watch one of the best right fielders in the game today. He brought home gold last year. We know a right fielder profiles as a huge offensive producer, but this guy covers a ton of ground all the way to the foul line with a strong throwing arm.
So that brings up the always intense Matt Chapman. A swing and a drive sent out toward the gap. See you later. Over the wall, a home run. So a solo shot here to left center field, and the A's are on the board first, 1-0.
Wow. You want to know how strong this guy is? That was a changeup, and he drives it to straight center. Dead center out of the ballpark. He makes it look easy, doesn't he?
And that'll bring in Ramon Laureano. As he'll swing at the first pitch and bang one into right center field. That's a base hit.
Batting 8, the catcher, John Murphy.
In at the plate is Sean Murphy. Offered at and missed. Here's the throw. It bounces, but he's out. Nice play there to pick the throw and put the tag on quickly.
They're showing they're not afraid to be aggressive on the base paths so far in this one. But we'll see if this caught stealing slows that down a bit. Managers never like to run into outs, so they might play it a little safer going forward.
The windup and the 0-1.
That's a ball.
Hit to third. Oh, and he lets the ball play him that time, and it kicks by him into left.
Batting 9, the left fielder, Tony. Yeah.
Into the box now, Tony Kemp. Swing and a flare hit toward right. Solak grabs it to retire the side.
I get it, I got it, I'm good, I'm about it.
The A's strike for one on the solo homer. We played two. It's now 1-0 in favor of the A's.
I'm with it, I get it, I got it, I'm good. You dig it? Squad hustle like a relay. Run it back like a replay. No time for that he say. I care about what she say.
That'll bring in Nick Solak. His career numbers against Manaea. He's a 300 hitter, 3 for 10. First pitch of the AB now.
The offense better get it going right here because they certainly can tell from their dugout this guy is carrying himself with a presence out on the mound. He's got feel for all his pitches.
Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike two.
Man, if I'm on the mound right now, these guys are swinging at everything. You just want to try and paint the corners.
Well below the knees, laid off on the changeup there.
1 and 2.
Well, that's a pitch right there you gotta just lay off. There's a good chance he's going to throw it on 0-2, and if you can recognize it starting down in the zone, you know it's only going to go down from there.
Pitch is popped up. Olsen over to his left, looks it into his glove, and there's one gone.
Batting ninth, the third baseman, number 16, Brock Holt.
So next to the plate for Texas, Brock Holt. First pitch coming. Here it is. And he lays off there, 1-0. Downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0. Finds the zone, strike one. 1 out, nobody on. Wanted to go after the slider, but he holds off. 3-1.
You could pretty much book it that a fastball's coming. A challenge fastball right here. He cannot allow the 9-hole hitter to get on base with the top of the order looming.
Pitch popped up. Chapman into foul territory, and this is going to be a foul ball. Now the payoff pitch home. And this is swung on and hit to Lowry at second. Reined in. And that's the second out.
Up next for the Rangers, the left fielder, Eli White.
Now back to the top of the lineup. Stepping in, Eli White. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss on the sinker, 0-1.
Man, this pitcher is on right now, pounding the zone, attacking these hitters. He's making it look easy.
On its way, the 0-1 pitch. Hard on the ground towards short, and Andrus will not be able to get there. It's a base hit.
Boy, just when you're looking for one of those shutdown innings, you get 2 quick outs, D-roll, then you give up a 2-out base hit to extend the inning.
Yeah, you show me a big league ball player that's going to give away an AB. No chance. Everybody's in there grinding every at-bat, every plate appearance. Nice job. Maybe a little 2-out lightning start.
Nate Lowe is next as he finds himself behind 0-1. 1 for 1 with a single so far. That's strike 2 on a well-placed changeup around the knees.
2 takes, and now he's down 0-2. I'm not sure, but he may have been taking to give a guy at first a chance to run.
0-2 count, and the pitch. Swing and a miss as the slider sets him down for the final out of the inning. One left for Texas. They're on the short end of a 1-0 score. Bottom of the third now, and that'll bring forth the veteran outfielder, Mark Canha.
Mark Canha.
First offering on its way.
Yeah, Matty, they certainly got it right when they drafted this guy. He has turned himself into an absolute superstar. Everybody knows this guy's name, and kids are buying his jerseys.
Line drive snagged on a short hop. And quickly there's one down to lead off the frame.
The shortstop, Elvis.
One gone for the A's here in the third. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Elvis Andrus. Now here's the first offering. Popped up. And there's out number 2.
Now batting, the first baseman, Matt Olson.
So the next to bat will be Matt Olson, singled in his last at-bat. Outfield shaded toward right center. Here's the first pitch. And Olson with a drive out to deep right. And goodbye. This one ain't coming back. A solo shot that time for Matt Olson. And Oakland has moved out in front here 2-0.
No surprise with that swing of the bat. This guy is simply one of the best in the game right now. There's not too many guys that take a beautiful hack like that in the league.
In now, Jed Lowry.
Second baseman.
As he connects on the first pitch with a fly ball to center. Garcia is there, and it's a very quick inning as the side is retired. One scores in the inning coming on this solo home run. We played 3 full. It's now 2-0 Oakland. Leading off the inning, it'll be Adolis Garcia, and they could use a spark from him here.
Offense needs to get going right here. You want to try and tighten up this game a little bit before it starts to get into that territory where you're going to start seeing the back end of each bullpen.
This guy's been throwing the ball great so far, but he's going to be tested here. 4, 5, and 6 coming up this part of the lineup.
And a curveball that he didn't get on top of there. It's 1-1. Line drive, base hit down the line. And now it'll kick around in the corner. Not in time, and he's in there with a double.
Not every day that you see a ball come off the bat like that one did, and looking at it again on show track, we see it a lot faster than it came in. 113 miles an hour. Couldn't have hit that one much better than that.
So that brings up the big bat of Joey Gallo as he takes a called strike on the black. It's 0-1. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. Hit hard up the middle. On to first with it is Andrus, and it's in time, 1 away.
The catcher, number 28, Jonah Heim.
Up next for the Rangers, Jonah Heim comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
As he swings and grounds it toward the hole.
And that's through into left, a base hit. The throw home. And not in time as the run scores.
Dan, you know what? You like to see that from an offense. When you have a guy in scoring position, there's no sense in waiting around. He saw a pitch he liked right there, and he went after it.
He did, D-Row, and I think that's what most hitters do. They come up with guys on base that they can potentially drive in. They're looking for a pitch to hit, and he didn't wait around and got that bat hit started.
So now up steps Isaiah Kiner-Falefa as he'll take a look at a strike right down the middle. It's 0-1. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. A little bit low that time, maybe outside as well. 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors in the contest for the Rangers so far. 1-2 now as that one's fouled off. As a look, now the pitch. And the slider gets him swinging. 2 gone.
Really good late bite on that slider right there. The best ones have that late action that just darts at the last minute. They're so tough to get the bat on, and when you've got that good slider going, it's a great strikeout pitch.
And that'll bring up the speedy outfielder David Dahl.
And on the first pitch, he grounds foul.
He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. Now the 0-1. Skied in the air to straightaway left.
Giving chase is Kemp.
He tracks it down, and that will end the inning. A run on 2 hits, and they leave 1. Striding forward now is the DH, Stephen Piscotty. Flied out in his first at-bat, so make him 0 for 1 so far. Swung on and lifted in the air to left center. Left fielder giving chase, and he tracks it down. Nice play for the first out.
Now batting, third baseman, Matt Chapman.
So 1 down, no one aboard. And up next, the power-hitting third baseman, Matt Chapman.
Yeah, and he wasn't fooled at all by the changeup last time. Kept his hands back and absolutely destroyed that ball. So I got to think he's not going to see a changeup in this scenario right here.
The 0-1. And boy, this at-bat is not starting off well as he's behind 0-2 now.
He's got a good feel for his off-speed pitches second time through the order, and we just saw 3 in a row.
Rolled slowly down the third baseline. But this will wind up foul. Still 0-2. 4th inning of a 2-1 ball game. Chapman swings, and this one's hit very well out to left. And that one is gone! A solo shot here to left, his second of the game, and it's given the A's a 3-1 lead.
Second home run of the game right there. He is locked in at the plate. You hear so many of today's players talk about rhythm and timing. Well, he is perfectly on time in the heart of the zone.
Standing in now, Ramon Laureano. Out in front of it, strike 1. He singled in his first AB. Wind up and the 0-1. Swung on, but it's pulled foul wide of third. 0-2 delivery. Three runs, 7 hits, and no errors in the ballgame for the A's so far. And on 0-2, he misses with a fastball. Able to protect the plate with 2 strikes, and he'll see another one.
Hey, usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's locating, feeling really good about his fastball. 2 back-to-back.
Weak grounder down the line at third. Throw gets him, 2 down.
Up next, the catcher, Sean Murphy.
Bases are empty here with 2 away, and that'll bring up Sean Murphy. Here's the first pitch to him. As he'll fall behind here as he goes after a fastball that might have been out of the zone. It's strike 1.
Woo, that was an ugly swing. If I'm pitching right now, I'm throwing that same pitch again. That was ugly.
And he's got to be more disciplined here. It's 0-2. 2 out, nobody on. Might have jammed him a little there as this is softly hit and foul off to the left. Swing and a miss at 1 in the dirt. And that ends the inning. The A's strike for 1 on the solo homer. We're through 4. It's now 3-1 Oakland. All ready to go in the top of the 5th. And set to go is the second baseman, Nick Solak. First pitch on its way. He's ready. Here's the 0-1. Lifted in the air toward the line and right. Right fielder is on the run. Oh, and a great diving catch for the first out. Here's Brock Holt now. As he'll go after a hard sinker that time and falls behind 0-1. He's 0 for 1 thus far. A 1 pitch on its way. Right there, and it's quickly 0-2 now.
Great pitch right there. That is a huge breaking ball. Not shocked he took it. Got to calibrate that one for a second.
A windup and the 0-2 pitch. And this is swung on and missed, so it's 2 up, 2 down to start the 5th.
Classic slider down and away for the strikeout there. Not a whole lot to say about that pitch that hasn't been said a million times already. That's just a real tough pitch for a hitter to pick up out of a pitcher's hand, so they end up chasing when they're in protect mode.
At the plate now, Eli White.
And a swing from him yields a foul pop out of play to the right.
He's working on a 1 for 2 game so far. Into right field. That's a base hit. So the 2-out base hit and the top of the inning is still alive.
Hey guys, I like the execution by the batter there. He got a hanger in the middle of the plate. He could have come unglued, but he didn't. He stayed focused and drove a line drive base hit.
Nate Lowe digging in now as he takes a cold strike at the knees. It's 0-1. 1 for 2 in the ball game thus far. Tying run at the plate, the 0-1.
1-1.
3-1 our score as we play inning number 5. And great extension as he drives this one high in the air and deep the other way. He lays out for it, but he can't pull it in. The runner from first crosses the plate. So much of this game is situational hitting, guys. Nice job there.
Yeah, you've got to find a way to pick your teammates up when you're given the chance, and he doesn't try to do too much right here. He just takes what's there. Safely on second, and his buddy is high-fiving teammates in the dugout.
At the plate, Adolis Garcia. As he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. He's 1 for 2 in this one. Trying to hold the lead. Here's the delivery. Lined hard toward right center. And this is going to find the alley as he might have himself his second double of the ball game. As he arrives at second without a play, as a run comes across to score on the play, tying the ball game.
Yeah, and giving up an RBI double is always painful, but even more so when there are 2 outs in the inning. A run had already crossed the plate, and then he gives up a blistering double to allow another run on the board.
Now time is called, and this might be to buy a little time for that reliever to get loose. Stepping in now, Joey Gallo, as he'll look at a breaking ball that misses for ball 1. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. Here's the 1-0. Hits are even at 7 apiece. Swinging a ball hit on the ground. The set and the 1-2. Got him swinging, and that will end the inning. So it's 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and a runner left on. Last half of the 5th coming up, and we are all tied at 3 apiece. Set now for the bottom of the 5th, and that'll bring up the outfielder, Tony Kemp.
Tony.
First offering. As it's grounded sharply to first. Fielded cleanly, and he'll take it to the bag himself for the out.
The right fielder, number 20, Mark Canha.
Now 1 down with the bases empty, and striding into bat next, it'll be Mark Canha. First offering on its way. Committed to that one a bit too soon as it locks him up for strike 1. Really tied him up on that one.
Yikes, he kind of looked clueless on that swing right there, man. If I'm pitching, I'm going right back to that same pitch.
A little quick on that swing, and he finds himself behind 0-2. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Didn't quite catch the zone there. Ball one.
Man, that's a good take there on that 0-2 fastball. Just missed. He must have a really good eye at the plate.
Down the line and fair. That's a hit. And now it'll kick around in the corner. And he'll pull into second with one away. Not every day that you see a ball come off the bat like that one did. And looking at it again on show track, we see it a lot faster than it came in. 113 miles an hour. Couldn't have hit that one much better than that. Now a spin and a throw back to second and a dive, but he's back. So Elvis Andrus the next to bat as he pops the first pitch foul behind the plate. One out and a runner on second base. A dive and oh, he can't hang on. And the throw is not going to be in time as he's able to reach base safely.
That's a nice piece of hitting right there, Dan. He went heater up in the zone and then tried to drop the off speed, but he was on it.
Boy, Mark, that's the oldest trick in the book, right? He used one pitch to set up the other. This guy wasn't having any part of that.
That'll bring up the power hitter, Matt Olson. And on the first pitch, he grounds foul. 2 hits and 2 trips for him thus far. Rolled slowly down the first baseline. And indeed, he'll not even try as he goes to first, and that means 2 men are in scoring position now with 2 away.
The batter, number 8, second baseman, Lowry.
Digging in next, Jed Lowry flew out last time up. First pitch coming. Here it is. To the left side, but it's well foul. Ready with the 0-1.
On 0-2 here, he doesn't have to give in with a great pitch to hit. He's got a base open, so he has to focus on making a good pitch right here.
On to first, and the A's fail to cash in here as the side is retired. A's strand a couple. 5 innings complete, all tied 3-3. Top half of the 6th about to get started, and now it'll be the catcher, Jonah Heim.
The catcher, number 28, Jonah Heim.
First pitch coming. Here it is.
That's a ball. Count 1-0.
The windup and the 1-0 pitch. And ooh, looked like a definite pitcher's pitch there on the inside. 1-1.
Hey, that's just a nice get me over curveball there to steal a strike. I don't think he was looking for that one.
The 1-1. And a good bite to that slider as he swings through it for the first out of the inning. Now to the plate, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa struck out in his last trip to the plate. And now the first pitch. Swing and a high fly ball out to left field. Going back is the left fielder, and this one is gone. A home run. A solo shot here to left as they take the lead 4-3.
Hey, I know we're not sitting up here with a crystal ball, but that swing right there, although in the middle innings, could be the deciding factor. And we could be looking back at this one when it's all said and done.
Here comes Bob Melvin now out of the Oakland dugout. And it would appear he's seen enough of his starter this afternoon. Gone after 5 1/3 here as he never really found his groove in this one. New pitcher coming on now, the right-hander Yusmeiro Petit. Into the box, David Dahl. Line to short, but gobbled up there, and there are 2 away.
The batter, number 50, second baseman, Nick.
Digging in will be Nick Solak. He comes in 0 for 2 thus far. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch.
1-0.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. A ball and a strike. Fought off at the plate as it's chopped foul. The 1-2. Again, he sends it out of play. Here he comes again, 1-2. And he'll lay off the curveball that's in the dirt that time, and it's back to even now at 2-2.
So you'd love for him to offer at that one, but the
We'll leave it right there as he strikes out, and that ends the inning. 1 in the inning, and it comes from a rather unlikely power source. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Now 4-3 Texas. Bottom of the 6th inning now, and digging in is the veteran DH, Stephen Piscotty. Now here's the first offering. Grounded weakly down the line toward third. And the off-balance throw will be too late, so a good effort that time, but it's an infield single.
Hey, I can only take you inside the mind of the batter right here. Had a lot of swinging bunts in my day. Soon as that ball hits the dirt in front of you, you are getting it down the first base line. When you smell a knock, I don't care what it looks like, you are getting it down the line.
Matt Chapman stands in looking for home run number 3 right here as you see what he's done so far in this one. Here's the first pitch. From the belt, the pitch. Oh, and this at-bat is quickly moving from bad to worse. It's 0-2 now.
Man, this guy's been locked in all game long. I don't know where that ugly swing just came from.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt here. Good job there as the count goes to 1-2.
And now the Ranger bullpen swings into action. A lefty and a right-hander are throwing down there.
4-3 our score here as we play inning number 6. Into the corner and slicing foul. He'll try again. 1-2. And another foul ball. Again a 1-2. Out in front there as this one's pulled off to the left side. A swing and a miss on a ball way out of the zone, and there's one away.
That strikeout was a real good example of a pitcher continuing to make a guy chase out of the zone. When you recognize a hitter is in protect mode, you don't have to come inside the strike zone. You can just expand further and further until he literally can't touch it.
To the plate now, Ramon Laureano. And that one yanked just foul. A hit in 2 tries for him so far. Here comes the 0-1. Well below the knees, laid off on the changeup there.
Hey, he threw that pitch with a purpose to get a double play. Good job to let it go by, though, as a hitter.
He's set, and the 1-2 pitch. Softly hit down to third, likely no shot at 2. To second for 1, but 1's all they were ever going to get, and the inning will continue.
Now batting, catcher, John Murphy.
Next, it'll be Sean Murphy. He struck out swinging in his last trip to the plate. And prior to the first pitch, he'll look to first. And a dive, but he's back in there. Oh, and he breaks, and they've got him picked off. The tag, and they'll get him at second, and with that, the side is retired. A's go quietly there. They still trail it here 4-3. Now into the box, Brock Holt. He went down on strikes in his last at-bat.
Yeah, and he didn't put up much of a fight either, Matty. Got to find a way. Can't go down 3 pitches. I don't care if you're staring at him or swinging at him. You have to find a way to make this pitcher work a little bit harder.
No balls and 1 strike. Right over the top with that curveball, and it's 0-2.
You could tell by the hitter's balance after that swing that he's seeing the ball really good. His timing is right there, and I expect him to catch something clean.
Here's the 0-2. Now a swing and a softly hit ground ball. On a good curveball gets him swinging for route number 1.
Nice job there taking care of the leadoff hitter via the strikeout. I'll tell you, in a 1-run game, especially this late, getting that first guy in the inning is so important. It changes the whole complexion of the inning, so that was a big out.
So now to the plate, Eli White, as he pops the first pitch foul behind the plate. He's 2 for 3 and looking for more here. Ready with the 0-1 pitch. back up the middle. And Andrus will not be able to get there. It's a base hit.
Hey, Dero, not a bad night. 3 singles, but hey, you'll take 3 for 4 every day of the week.
Yeah, in today's day and age, Dan, where everything's a homer, a walk, or a strikeout, it's refreshing to see this guy throw out 3 base hits.
Into the box now, Nate Lowe, as he looks at a fastball that misses off the plate for ball 1. So far, 2 for 3 in this one. The 1-0 is offered at and missed for the first strike.
Good thing he didn't make contact with that pitch. Only thing he could do is probably hit that on the ground. It could be a double play ball.
A 2-1 count to the Rangers' first baseman. Two balls and a strike. Here it is. We're in the 7th inning now of a 4-3 ball game. And that's low, so a good eye there as he works the count back full.
We could see the runner in motion here on a 3-2 count with 1 out. There's a pretty good chance he's going to get a pitch to swing at, and if not, it's ball 4 anyways.
Fouled away. Too close for comfort, and he did a good job just to make contact.
You know, taking you inside the mind of a batter right here, you can't get in auto swing mode. You still have to control the strike zone.
And he turns this one around high and deep to center field. Center fielder looking up, and this ball is gone. No chance to make a play on that one. 2-run shot to straightaway center, and it's now 6-3. How about the work the lineups have been doing so far, fellas?
Yeah, Matt, you know what, D-Roll, we got up this morning for this day game here. We were expecting a high-scoring game, but boy, we haven't been disappointed.
Yeah, you take the temperature of a lot of guys in the league. They definitely will tell you they see the ball better in the daytime than they do at night. Case in point today, ball was jumping off the bats of both lineups.
As the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. He doubled his last time through. A 1 pitch on its way. Still only 1 out in the inning. Hit out towards second. And he'll whip this one over to first, and he gets his man for the second out.
The right fielder, number 13, Joey Gallo.
So now it'll be the 4-hole hitter, Joey Gallo. He's batting cleanup, but has been shut down so far at the plate, 0 for 3. Here's the first pitch. Great curveball there. Really fooled him with that one. Fouled off. Maybe lucky to get a piece there. It stays 0-2. 2 out, nobody on. Liner into right center. That's a base hit.
That base hit was screaming off the bat, and our show track technology more than confirms it. 111 miles an hour was the exit velocity of that line drive.
J.B. Wendelken will get the ball here as he looks to get the final out in the top of the 7th. Standing in now, Jonah Heim, and it's fouled away. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Nothing in 1 count. Here it comes.
He knows his strengths and weaknesses at the plate. He knows he has a cold zone away. But the bottom line is this pitcher has been able to execute to that spot. If he misses over the heart of the plate, this guy's still going to be ready.
Struck him out, so he's set down on strikes for the 2nd time today. But 2 here in the Rangers' half of the inning, and they come on this 2-run home run. Get up and stretch. Home half of the 7th coming up. It's the Rangers 6 and the A's 3. Bottom of the inning now, and next to hit is the catcher, Sean Murphy. First offering. As he pops the first pitch foul behind the plate. The 0-1 delivery. Fly ball right down the line in left. Left fielder is on the move, and now it'll kick around in the corner. And he's going to get to second now with nobody out.
Talk about starting off the inning with a bang. Goodness, when this thing left the bat, I thought it was out of here, and I think he might have too. Only made it to the warning track, but he glides into second base with a leadoff double.
Ranger skipper is up off his seat in the dugout now to make the walk to the mound. And we're going to have a pitching change, as that's going to be all for his starter this afternoon. So he'll head for the showers as he stands to win this one if the bullpen can find a way to protect his 3-run lead. Josh Spores comes on now, and he'll take over with nobody out in inning number 7. Stepping in now, Tony Kemp. He swings and hits it foul off to the right and out of play. 0 for 2 for him to this point. Here's the 0-1. A runner at second, nobody out. Swing and a miss on the slider, and that's out number 1. So the Oakland lineup turns over, and to the plate, Mark Canha. He doubled his last time up. From the belt, the pitch.
Nope.
The 1-0 is swung on and missed, and that's strike 1. Runner at second here with 1 man out. Left side. throw gets him 2 down.
Now back, the shortstop, Elvis.
Now to bat, Elvis Andrus. And he's got to get on base any way he can with that possible tying run behind him in the on-deck circle. He's ready. Here's the first pitch. Runner in scoring position at second with 2 down. Now a fastball off the plate away. A ball and a strike. The 1-1 home. Swung on and hit in the air out toward left. And that will conclude matters here in the 7th. 1 left for Oakland. Can't cut into that 6-3 deficit. Ready to begin the 8th, and into bat next will be Isaiah Kiner-Falefa.
Hey, Matty, an interesting sequence in that last at-bat when he hit a home run. First pitch breaking ball when he hit that towering long drive home run. We'll see if they attack him more with fastballs in this at-bat.
Wendelken rarely finds himself in much trouble out of the bullpen, at least in terms of giving up base hits. He's proven to be a tough guy to barrel up. Comes set and the 0-1. And he misses with it 1-1. As we near the end of this one, it's clear the long ball has played a big role in today's outcome. Dan, D-Row, what are your final thoughts on what we've seen?
Yeah, just non-competitive pitches in some big situations, Dan, and the offense took full advantage.
Yeah, you know, D-Row, one of the things about pitching is you want to have location, and it was obvious in this one today that the pitchers weren't on point, and what happens when that happens? Hitters make you pay, and the long ball was a big part of this one here.
Got him. The slurve that time, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Next up is David Dahl, and he hasn't quite had the same fortune at the plate as many of his teammates. No hits for him so far. First offering. Now the 0-1. Down and away, ball 1. Lifted out towards straightaway center field. Center fielder giving chase. He gets there, and that's the second out.
The batter, number 15, second baseman, Nick Solak.
So next to bat will be Nick Solak. In his career against this pitcher, not a big sample size, 0 for 1. Now here's the pitch.
Well executed fastball right at the knees. Going to be a long day for this offense if he stays in that spot.
Now a swinging bunt. Hit in the air to center field. Center fielder on the run. He's there to make the play, and that'll retire the side. 1-2-3 go the Rangers. They still lead it 6-3. Joely Rodriguez is on to pitch out of the bullpen in the bottom half of the 8th. Stepping in once again is Matt Olson. He's 2 for 3 and looking for more here.
The first baseman, Matt Olson.
First pitch on the way. Swinging a ball hit on the ground. Oh, and he's got him in the palm of his hand now. It's 0-2.
Guess where he's going with this next pitch? Probably a little further outside, see if the fish are still biting.
Out in front of that one, but he stays alive and will do it again on 0-2. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. Swung on and missed. He didn't even come close to contact on a ball way out of the zone. 1 out.
Pretty textbook pitching right there. Jump ahead in the count 0-2 and then start working outside the zone. Easier said than done, but that's the way to do it.
In now, Jed Lowry. As he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point. Oh, and 1, here it comes.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Got to find a way to scratch at least 1 across. You do not want to take on the monster closing the game down 3.
1-1. Both teams right now with 11 hits in the ballgame. Still 1-2 as he fouls it away. The pitch. Grounded weakly toward third. And there's out number 2.
Now back, the designated hitter, Steven.
Outfielder Stephen Piscotty the next to hit. 2 away here in the 8th, and time's running out on him, Danny.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of outs left to work with, so it's time for someone to make something happen if they're going to get back into this thing.
Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch as he'll get out ahead of a changeup and swing through it for strike 1.
Great job by the pitcher right there to pull the string. He knew he had an aggressive hitter at the plate, somebody who was sitting on fastball and ready to do damage, and he was able to slow him down right there and get him off balance.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. A swing and a miss at a sinker. The strikeout retires the side. Inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the A's. They're still doubled up. It's 6-3. Lou Trevino enters from the pen to start the 9th inning as he'll try to keep the score right where it is heading to the bottom of the 9th. All set to start the 9th in this one, and that'll bring up the versatile utility man Brock Holt. First pitch on its way.
Big fastball is definitely this guy's MO coming out of the bullpen.
Good curveball. Strike 2.
Your idea of working the count goes out the window. You're frustrated right now, down 0-2. Gotta find a way to grind.
A little bit off the outside. It's 1-2. And he fouls this one off. Struck him out. Struck him out again, I should say. His third punch out of the game.
That's the third time in this game he's gone down on strikes. Not the game he was hoping to have when he was taking batting practice, but at least his guys are ahead.
To the plate now, Eli White, as he swings and lifts it in the air out to left field.
Waiting on it is Kemp.
He's got it, and there are 2 down now.
Now batting, the first baseman, Nate Lowe.
Stepping up is Nate Lowe, and he's got a shot at history here, but he'll need a triple to complete the cycle. First pitch of the AB now.
Count 1-0.
2 out, nobody on. There's a swing and a missile sent out to center field. And it's gone as they add still another. So it's a solo shot to dead center, his second home run of the game, as it is now 7-3. That's dinger number 6 on the day between these two lineups. I feel like I'm watching home run derby here, guys.
Dan, they're absolutely not going to cover off the ball. I'm curious to get your take on this. I didn't find it to be the truth. I didn't mind hitting at night, but a lot of guys say they see the ball better during the day.
You know what's funny, D-Row, is I preferred to pitch in night games as opposed to day games. I always thought it was advantage to the hitter, and so far that looks like it's the case in this one right here. They must be seeing the ball really well because they're just absolutely smoking the baseball right now.
Swing and a miss, and he's in control. 0-2.
Down 0-2 to a guy with this much weaponry, 5 pitches he can go to, not looking good.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Fouled away. Two quick strikes, and now the 0-2. And he struck him out. So a good pitch there, and now they're going to need to string some hits together in this last at-bat if they want to get back in this thing. But add on one more as the solo shot stretches their lead even further. Last chance coming up for Oakland. It's the Rangers 7 and the A's 3. Number 61 enters from the bullpen to do the pitching. All set for the bottom of the 9th. And that means Matt Chapman will dig in at the plate.
Third baseman, Matt Chapman.
First pitch of the AB on its way. A swinging bunt up the third baseline. The windup and the 0-1. Big swing and a miss at the fastball, and he's behind in the count 0-2. Now the Rangers get a reliever up and throwing in the bullpen as a right-hander's begun to warm up out there. The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Now a ball hit pretty well to left, but this is going to wind up in the seats foul. The next 0-2. Turned on that one and crushed it. Just pulled it a little foul. The 0-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, and that'll get a groan from the home supporters here. 1 away. And stepping in, Ramon Laureano. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. Here's the first pitch. Maybe a little jumpy there as he swings through the fastball. Oh, and it looks like a visit to the video room may be in order after that hack. It's 0-2 now.
Real ugly 0-1 swing there. As a pitcher, you've got to be hunting for the strikeout, knowing you have this guy way off balance.
Swung on, and he went fishing in the dirt. And he makes the throw to first. Laureano is retired, 2 down now.
Now batting, catcher.
Next to stand in is Sean Murphy, and he needs to make something happen. They're down to their final out here in the 9th. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Fouled off. And this is swung on and missed. So with that, they find themselves down to their final strike here this afternoon. Last strike now for Oakland. Now a swing and a miss on a pitch that tied him up in knots, and the ball game is over.
Hey, it's hard to win games at any point, but to win games on the road, especially in this ballpark, so they are very happy with this win.
And this afternoon's game ends 7-3. The Rangers rode an important 6th inning to victory in this one. Colby Allard earns the victory on the mound. So that just about does it. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney down on the field, and the rest of our crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. Thanks for watching MLB Network.
The final line score for our ball game this afternoon. First for the victorious Rangers, 7 runs on 12 hits. No errors. They left 5 men on base. For the Athletics, 3 runs, 11 hits. No errors. They left 5 men on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 14 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. And we remind you to please drive home safely.